In this video, we will see how to use multiple callbacks. For this application, we will use different kind of components to get user inputs. First, we will add a slider. We will also need an edit field to get input from the user. We will also use a spinner and a drop-down component. We can change its name. We will use it to choose the function we want to calculate. We also want to change the different options it offers. We want to calculate exponential and logarithm. Let's change the name of the edit field. Here we will have a multiplier factor. So let's set its original value at 1. Let's set up the slider. It will represent the number we want to apply our function to. Let's set a range from 0 to 10. We will use the spinner as a way to get an additional factor. We let this factor as a number. We will display the result in an edit field. We can change its name. Now let's add a callback to our slider. We choose a value changed function. Here Matlab already created a variable with the value of the slider. Here it is what we need to type if we want the value on the slider. We need to calculate different function depending on the button selected on the drop-down component. So we will need to compare strings. To do so, we will use strcmpi. We need the value on the drop-down component. We can find its name up here. We add .value to get its value. We compare it to logarithm. If the button logarithm is selected, we want to calculate a times logarithm x plus b. As usual, we use the name of the component from which we want to get the input. And we add .value to have its value. If the button logarithm is not selected, then the exponential button is. In this case, we want to calculate a times exponential x plus b. Then we use the same syntax to get the different values we need. Now let's run the application. We can see that the result is displayed. But we notice that result changes only when we use the slider. It does not change when we use the other components. We need to use the slider for the new result to be calculated. If we want the result to change when we use the different components, we need to use multiple callbacks functions. To do so, we need to right-click on the other components. Then we click on Select Existing Callback. Here we select the kind of callback we want to use. And here, we select to what callback we want to add this new callback. Then we do the same for the other components. Let's run the application to see what changed. As before, the result is displayed when we use the slider. But this time the result changes when we use the other components. And now we don't have to use the slider to display the new result. This works with every components.